Welcome back, social media family and sober family. This is another episode of Recovery Talk brought to you by Pro Recovery Power. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday today. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. I'm really excited about today's show. Before we get all into everything like that, Anthony's gonna be joining us. He's gonna be telling his story. But before, hey Joe, hey, what's up, Alex? Thank you guys for tuning in. But before we get into Anthony telling his story, I just wanted to talk about Pro Recovery Power. And thank you guys so much to just express some gratitude to all the love and support. Not just the financial support. The support through social media. My people, friends around me in recovery that are supporting me. Thank you so much. It's very helpful. It really helps us to move the vision forward and turning Pro Recovery Power into a nonprofit to go out and help the community and give back. The best way to pay it back is to pay it forward. That's what I was taught, and so that's how I live my life today. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys are doing well. What's up, Hawaiian? What's up, bro? Another Hawaiian in here. All right. But let me get Anthony in here real quick, guys.
What's up?
What up? There he is. What's up,
How
bro?
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Doing good. Can you hear
Where you
me?
off to?
Right now I'm actually at a place I wanted to show you guys one, like a little field trip almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. I got my new earphones, bro. This thing is so good. So like I've been using them all the time.
Oh, I can hardly hear you.
You can hardly hear me? Okay, wait. Let me disconnect this then. Okay, can you hear me better now, bro?
I can hear you good, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what's up, man? How's it going?
Nothing, man. Just kind of enjoying life right now, going through this recovery process. I'm glad you called me up to talk, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I know you messaged me, I think a while back. I realized it after when I went to hit you up yesterday. I was like, oh dang, he messaged me a while ago about this. Because sometimes, man, my inbox is like so full and I forget who to get back to and mixing up with text messages and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It would be nice if somebody could just control it for me.
I hear
But
that, brother.
it's all good. It
Yeah,
gives
for
me
sure.
some responsibility as well. But yeah, bro, thank you so much, for being here. I know you are really pumped about it, and so am I, man. So am I. I know we're both in
Yeah.
Cali. You're just up north. I'm down south.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but before we get into it, bro, let me ask you some questions real quick. The first question is, how long have you been sober?
238 days today.
All right, bro. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Okay, and then where are you from?
I'm actually from Cottonwood, California, which is above Sacramento, but nobody really knows where that's at, so I just say close to there.
Yeah, Sacramento. All right, on.
Yeah.
And then what was your choice in drink and or drug?
So at a younger age, I liked the opiates, the Oxycontins, and then it rolled to ecstasy, cocaine, and then at the last 3 years was straight meth. So
Oh, all right.
yeah.
Okay. So real quick, bro, before we get into your story, I just want to make an announcement about Pro Recovery Power. If you guys could go to our website, on the bottom right hand corner, it's prorecoverypower.com. It's literally down here on the right. It's like a little circle with a pencil. That's actually our survey questionnaire. And that really helps us to track what Pro Recovery Power is doing, the impact we're making, how we can improve, and everything like that. I would love if you guys could do that for me, please. Thank you so much. And also on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have a recovery meeting. It's the Pro Recovery Power Hour. It's basically a speaker participation meeting. I have somebody come on, tell their story, and then we open it up for participation. Now, it's geared mainly toward drugs and alcohol, but if you got a sex problem, a gambling problem, overeating, you struggle with any kind of addiction, you're welcome to join us as well. So, without further ado, bro, now I can give you the floor to tell us your story.
All right, man. So I wanted to start it off with the word perspective, something I lacked for a long time. So if I could start back from the beginning, it'd be my mom and dad. They're from Bay Area, San Francisco. My dad was a gangbanger. My mom was kind of raised by her aunt in Utah, moved over, didn't really know too much. My dad and her met. Long story short, my dad was in and out of jail, juvenile hall facilities a lot. Bad with the drugs. He liked PCP and heroin and those types of things. My mom straightened him up, somewhat, and then I was born. They moved to Santa Rosa. So while they were in Santa Rosa, my dad's on parole, and they're trying to get everything rolling again. My dad's working. We're blue collar, living in an apartment. Up until about first grade at this point. My dad breaks his parole, gets in a fight, has to do weekends for a long time. They let him work. Long story short, he gets a job opportunity to work up where we live now. And so we move up here to get away from all the drama and all the bullshit. And my mom the whole time is pretty much a saint, if that makes sense. She kind of trying to take care of an addict, and we don't know how that is. So, so he kind of keeps his demons at bay until I'm around, I would say, 7, 8 years old. I start noticing Pops is kind of goofing off a little bit. I can't really understand what it is yet. So by around 10 years old, I'm kind of living in this small town, and I'm kind of getting heavy set, and I'm starting to get like these body problems because people are teasing you at school, and you know how kids are at school. So you start taking these insecurities really, really to heart. Like these insecurities start running real deep. And my dad's telling me all these stories about prison and like glorifying it, if you will. Yeah. So you know how when people are talking about their war stories, you start feeling like, ooh, man, I remember the good days.
Yeah.
So as that time goes on, I'm about 6th grade, and I'm kind of hating myself, to be honest with you. I look in the mirror, I just hated the person I was. I thought that gangbanging was cool. I really looked up to my cousins in the Bay Area. Any gang movie I was watching and thinking it was the coolest thing in the world because my dad told me all this shit was just so cool, right? And there was never the bad stories. My dad never told me the bad stories. So he's telling me all these prison stories, how his name is Dreamer, and he's fighting this guy named Flacco, and they're doing all this stuff in prison. It's like, Vatos Locos Forever type stuff. So in my head, I'm looking at that stuff like it's such a big fucking deal. Like I'm 10, 11 years old, and he's not telling my little brother these things. Mm-hmm. For some reason, he knew I was going to be a fuck up or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he was talking to me like I was the homeboy. And my brother got straight A's, valedictorian, never in trouble. Always the good kid, right? So with me, he always treated me like he knew I was I got bad grades. I hardly wanted to go to school. And so he kind of had me as his little baby, like his buddy, instead of his son. So I think I'm about 13 years old at this time. And I'm starting to think, man, anytime I went to the Bay Area to hang out with my cousins, I thought I was a gangbanger too. I was like, I'm running with my cousins. They're 4 or 5 years older than me, and they're all getting high, snorting coke and, smoking weed. And we'd all hang out. And I thought that was normal. Like that was my dad told me it was cool. My brother's at grandma's house. I'm going to hang out with my cousins, and and I'm out here having a good time. We're drinking. And so I come back to my little town from the Bay Area, and I would have weed with me, or, I became kind of like the kid that was bringing back the bad things. Right.
Right.
So 13 years old, I go to a party, and I get my first case of alcohol poisoning. Mm-hmm. And, I think I'm being cool. I'm drinking. I already took a bunch of Vicodin and stuff, and I'm thinking I'm just the fucking coolest dude in the world. And I still have these insecurities, these demons, of thinking, man, I'm a fat loser. People tease me. But I was always close with the good group of like really athletic kids, but I was always the kid that was like kind of right on the outskirt of it, if that makes sense. So long story short, I get this alcohol poisoning. I wake up in the hospital. They have charcoal all over my face. And so I'm thinking, I'm 13 years old. My dad's looking over me. He's like, hugs me and goes, God damn it, He's like, what the hell, right? So 13, I already have that. So now I'm kind of labeled the bad kid again. So like now I'm labeled the bad kid by my friend's parents. At this time, I just thought I was the bad kid. Mm-hmm. Now the parents are thinking, okay, this is the bad kid, right?
Right.
So not even 6 months later, I start selling a little bit of weed. I got some weed, and I'm kind of messing around with weed, and I think I'm so cool because my parents could only afford like JCPenney clothes. Mm-hmm. But the kids I hung out with were wearing Hurley and the fucking, the Jordans. And so I'm thinking, I live on the other side of the tracks in my town. It's like middle class. And then on the other side of the town that I hung out with, they were rich Victorian houses, right? So I started selling weed, trying to fit in, buying the Hurley shirts and doing all the stupid shit like that. I get busted selling weed at my high school, my freshman year. By my two friends, they end up telling on me, which was a good thing, but a bad thing at the same time. Because at that moment, my young brain thought, I have no friends. My friends must hate me. They told on me. You know what I mean? Now I'm locked up. I'm going to juvenile hall. They're shipping me out, right? So I get arrested at my school campus. They end up locking me up, taking me to juvenile hall in front of all the teachers, staff. I mean, it's just, right there. I'm already insecure as it is. I'm only acting out and trying to make money because I want to fit in. You get what I'm saying? So at that moment, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I'm going to juvenile hall. I'm embarrassed. I get to juvenile hall. My dad told me all these stories already. Man, when you get in there, punch the biggest guy and blah, 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 all that whoop-de-whoop, right? So I get to juvenile hall and in my head, I'm thinking, I got to fight right now. I got to do this and this and that and all this shit, right? So right when I get in the doors, it's not even that. It's not even that bad, I get in there. It's more wasted time than anything, if that makes sense. You end up hanging out with your race, whatever. But long story short, it's not what my dad had brought this mental thought of. There's more boredom for me.
Right.
I was like, wow, I'm spending all this fucking time just sitting here watching stupid shows on rerun, right? So I end up getting out of juvenile hall. My dad picks me up with some McDonald's, and I remember his conversation distinctly, still just like a friend again. How was it? You know what I mean? I had my toes at that time were all broken because I had gotten a fight in there and I kicked someone, and they make you wear the Bob Barkers.
Oh.
So I fucked my toes off. All my toes broke. My dad's like, oh, okay, that's good. At least you didn't get hit, right? And he's no big deal to my dad. I got 3 years, 6 months probation. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there like fucking 380 hours of community service. My dad's still like, whatever. I get home and I'm grounded for about 2 weeks at this time. And my dad ends up letting me go out with some friends. And this is why I'm out here in my car right now. I'm going to tell you guys right now. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm out. I'm on probation. I'm not supposed to be out past 10. I got 3 years, 6 months over my head, right? So my dad and my mom talk. My dad talks to my mom and say, yeah, let him go out with his friends. It's okay. Let him go. So we end up coming down this road right here, me and my friends. And we're driving down this road. We're partying. We're having a good time at the house. We're all drinking beers. We lied to our parents, said we're going to go camping somewhere. We come flying down this road about 130, and we hit this whoop, if you see right there.
Oh, yeah.
And we roll 9 times, right? And I'm in the front seat passenger right here. And I feel something hit me really hard. Just boom. And I look back and my buddy's flying out the window.
Oh, wow.
So he flies out the window. We keep rolling, continuing to roll. Then we land right here where his gravesite is here.
Oh, wow.
So when we land here, mind you, I'm on probation. I shouldn't have been out in the first place. I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends. Now my friend's dead, right? We're upside down right here. I climb out of the car with my friends and we're looking around and hold on. Climb out of the car and he's laying there dead. And it just so happens for him to be in taillight reach so you can see his body in the red, the red light. I'll never forget it because the whole night he's telling me about how he wants to wear this preppy sweater because he was a stoner and he wants to hang out with all of us and we're all smoking cigarettes, getting drunk. And this is what broke me, okay? This is the night that broke me. I see him for 2 reasons. 2 reasons this night broke me. He was a good friend of mine, passes right in front of my eyes, and I think he's alive, so we go to shake him to get him up. Come on, man, we got to run. We got to get the fuck out of here, right? And all he does is gargle. And I just remember seeing his face, knowing he's dead, right? And so we start making a story. My selfish ass is making a story now because I'm on probation. This is where my addiction is fucked up because I was so fucked up and high and I already knew my bad outcome was coming. My friend's laying there dead. I processed that for about 5 seconds and I went into Anthony mode, addiction mode. Anthony, we got to get the fuck out of here, dude. We got to get out of here. So we're all making this thing. Cops come. Long story short, we're all here. Everything's happening. My mom happens to get me out of there. And that ends up sending me all the way off the edge because I was already insecure. I had the alcohol poisoning situation. Family didn't, people didn't want me around. I went to juvenile hall, get out. Parents definitely don't want me hanging out with their kids. So now I'm definitely this black sheep of this town that's not very big. And then this happens. I get shipped back off to juvenile hall again. I get out on that time. I think I'm 15 at the time. And with all that happening, it's just like a bad chain of reactions that make me think I'm the black sheep, right? So I'm gonna show you I'm the black sheep now. You want to say I'm a fucking loser? I'll show you the definition of a loser, right? So I started doing a lot of cocaine and partying a lot, but mind you, I kept it relatively functional, if that makes sense. I wasn't like showing out, trying to get crazy, but there's enough for me to know that I couldn't go a day without it. And when I was in juvenile hall that second time, I realized I was really sick because I was so sick in there from not having my pills that I had been taking for the last, since 13 up to 15 on a constant everyday basis, stealing them from my mother's drawer, that I was an addict. I was like, damn, but I didn't know that then. I just thought, wow, this sucks, right? So I was 15, 16, I'm expelled from school. I start working, and long story short, I start selling drugs and I start doing that lifestyle. I'm living that lifestyle. I'm running from the Bay Area back and forth, and I'm picking up things and I'm doing stupid stuff. I got to a point to when I was about 18 years old. I got with a girl and we were having a kid. And long story short, she had an abortion because I was selling drugs and getting so high that she just thought it would be the stupidest decision to bring a kid in this world, which I kind of thank her for now because it was a bad time for me, which I don't believe in it too much, but it's just one of those next things to hit you, you know? So I'm kind of holding it together. I'm still getting super high all the time on a daily basis. I'm taking 10 Norcos just to wake up in the morning.
Yep.
I'm eating 10 or 12 at lunchtime. I'm eating another 10 or 12 before I go to bed. So I already had my rhythm, but I always worked and I always kind of hustled and always doing what I needed to do. So I thought I was a functional addict. So it wasn't, Anthony, you're cool, man. You're fucking cool, bro.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good, right? Spending $1,000 a week on nothing, right? So anyways, when it comes down to it, I get married. I meet this girl at 21. We start dating. She has 2 kids. I start raising them with her. I tell her I'm not an addict. Her dad's an addict. Her mom's an addict. She's like, no, and I'm hiding it. I'm at this point, I'm smoking so many oxys I don't even know what to do with myself. But she doesn't know. And so we get together on a lie pretty much. And I fall in love with her. She falls in love with me. We get married. We have 2 more children, but throughout this whole time, I'm getting high and high and high. And she keeps wondering why I have bipolar disorder. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you up and down? Why are you always up and down, up and down? I was hiding it from her so well, I thought. So she ends up figuring it out over time. I'm trying to give you guys a short story to it. She figures it out that I'm getting high all the time. She tries to help me get changed. Come on, you need to change. Come on, you need to change. Yeah, I'll change. But you can't tell an addict. My disease is the only disease that tells me I don't have a disease. Okay? So you get what I'm saying? It's a delusional disease. It's telling me, Anthony, you got it. Just one more lie. Just one more. Ain't no big deal. Just keep that thing going. It's a white lie. It's not a real lie. You need this thing. This is for you. You need this drug, Anthony. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Right? So she don't know what she's talking about. My drug, my disease is the only one telling me that, you don't have a disease, man. Just keep getting high. You're good. So I continue to get high and I continue to get high and I continue to get high. And finally she just gets sick of it. We break up. And in this time, I'm so high and messed up that I had become like narcissistic, very narcissist type of demeanor, because at a young age, very insecure. I needed a lot of pats on the back just to feel okay. I had to constantly be the best at whatever I was doing just so I could feel something. You know what I mean? Because I always felt so empty. I always felt so alone. I always felt so, even though I'd be a crowd of people, I felt alone. So it caused me to become just a flat out liar, which we all know how that goes with addiction. I just became a liar, a stealer, and a thief. And if you wanted me to be honest, reliable, and dependable, it wasn't going to happen. Like I was going to tell you I was going to be at that thing, but I'm not going to be there. Because if I had to get a bag that morning, you're fucked. You know what I mean? Yep. And anything that I'm doing, I would drive 4 hours just to go get 4 Norcos so I wouldn't be sick the next day. You know what I mean? So the addiction had taken over. I'm about 26, 27, 28, and it's so bad that I've gone to the hospital 3-4 times. I can't get out of bed without it. I can't move without it. I hate everyone when I don't have it. If anyone knows what restless leg syndrome is, I'm telling you right now, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I don't wish that on anyone, right? So anyways, as this time kept going and kept going, I kept getting worse and worse. My wife leaves me. And I end up going out and just sleeping with a lot of people at that time. And this town's very, very small. So I'm out there sleeping with people. I'm still getting loaded. I'm lying to her, trying to work it out still, yada, yada, yada. I can't afford pills anymore. Okay. They're getting too expensive. I can't handle it. I can't pay the $10 a pill anymore. I can't do it. So I moved to meth. I grabbed meth. And when I was taking the pills, the reason why I took the pills is because it gave me energy. I felt it gave me energy. Like I was up on opiates because I have ADHD. So I was up on the downers. I was low on the uppers. So I would take these downers and I'd be up and I thought they were the greatest, but then I'd go over to this upper. So I get to meth and I end up, this is when I start really realizing I'm a drug addict because I'm hanging out in the lowest places you can hang out. I'm at trap houses and just hanging out with the worst people I can think of, just getting super, super high. And I end up getting very secluded with myself, which at the end of everybody's addiction, I've noticed we get very secluded. We end up we want to hide almost when we're getting high. Like we're not this time. It's not partying anymore. Now it's functioning. We're just trying to keep our mind from going completely crazy. And so I end up losing my wife, losing my place, losing my job after 13 years being a boss. I'm running a company and I lose it. Start doing meth and I move into my mom's house. I'm living at my mom's house. I'm 30. This is 287 days ago, 238 days ago. So, so yeah, it's sad to say that, but I'm 32 years old living at my mom's house, doing so much meth that I can't even leave my bedroom most days because I'm just staring at the wall, talking to myself and doing all this crazy stuff. I'm so alone and so depressed and so sad that I want to die. So I constantly use to get to the point where I want to OD. Did I have the strength to pull the trigger? No, I didn't. But could I get as high as I could to drop out for that day? Yes. I would get so high, I would over amp, and I'd pass out, wake up the next morning like, oh, fuck, I'm still here. All right, let's do it again. And I kept doing that. And this last stretch, no matter that I had my children, I have 4 healthy kids, great kids. I had everything. But I said my addiction had told me that I needed to keep going with the high. Like, Anthony, these shackles, bro, yank, yank, yank. Come on. So in my head, I thought I couldn't go a day without it, couldn't go a minute without it, I couldn't go a second without it. So towards the end, I had gotten to the point on October 30th that I wanted to die. So I had taken my kids, I dropped them off at my brother-in-law's house, and I hugged them for the last time, which it's weird to say, but I hugged them for my last time. Like I felt like I hugged them for my last moment of my life, and I hugged them really tight, and I say, have fun with Uncle. I love you guys. And so I'm leaving. I get in my car and I'm crying, just pouring tears, and I'm snorting meth out of a $1 bill because I used to take a $1 bill and I crushed it all on the $1 bill, and I'd hold it and I was just snorting it. I'm driving. I'm starting to hear voices. I'm thinking that the cops are after me. My phone's tapped. I take my phone card out. I eat my phone card. That's how fucking lost I was. I think the cops I'm eating the phone card. I'm driving around and I'm going to go drive off a cliff somewhere. I hope that I OD before then. So I get to this spot, and it's a big place called Battle Creek out here, and I park and I say, you know what, this is it. This is it right here. And I snort the rest of what I have, which is about 1 gram. And I sit there, and all of a sudden I get this really blank sober feeling. Like it's just like and like I'm not thinking anybody's looking for me anymore. I get this weird, like, just, I can't explain it to you, man. Like, it's so, I never believed in God up until that day. Not one time did I believe in God. I didn't care about God. I didn't care about your religion. Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear it. I'm atheist. I don't care. God doesn't care about me. He let me go through all this shit. Fuck that guy, right? Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He let me go through all this. He let me do all this. Why would he allow this to happen to me? Why? Me, right? It's a very selfish disease.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I get the sobering moment and I think, I'm talking to him at this point. I've never talked to God really. And through the year, I'm kind of trying to figure it out. And I'm talking to him. And then I feel the sobering feeling. I go get my kids. I go home and I lay down and we watch a movie. We laugh, we smile. I wake up and I've been sober since. But the solution to me for all of this, because I know everybody likes to tell their stories and get into the deep of it. And I'm going to say the biggest thing that I could tell anyone that's listening or anyone that listens to it later or anything like that, going through all that, which people have gone through way worse, you know, I didn't know that because I lacked perspective, right? I thought me, I'm going through this. I can't see anyone else. My life is horrible. My, right? And what's beautiful about this, what you're doing, and what's beautiful about everyone telling their stories and talking is you realize that you're not alone.
Absolutely.
You realize that there's people out there that have gone through worse and that have seen more and done more, or even they're going to hear your story and think, wow, that guy's been through a lot, and you're going to help them out. So it's a constant chain reaction of help coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my biggest solution for all of it came down to me realizing it wasn't just about me.
Right.
It was about me realizing that I had more than I could imagine and more than most people have, but yet I was still so into my own bullshit that I couldn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I realized at the end of it all was I had to be honest with myself, and I had to really, really, really bring all those things to light, like stealing pills from my grandmother, stealing pills from everybody in town, breaking in windows, robbing drug dealers. You know what I mean? You're doing things that you're like, wow, what am I doing just to get high? But you feel so guilty about it that it pushes you away from society. So you're constantly doing things that are pushing you away from society, which makes you even more fall back into a worse place. So once you realize that if you just speak your truth and you talk it out and you get it out, there's more people that can relate to you. And it's a beautiful thing. And for me, that's the biggest thing I could say that helped me out. And is just speaking my truth, even though it was nasty, grimy, whatever it was. But once I had it darkness to light, it really did heal me.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that I have best days every day, because there's some days where I just want to roll up in a ball and cry all day.
Right.
But then I have days where I'm like, damn, I'm doing a good job, And normally I would talk to myself like I was a loser all day. So now I'm having days where I talk to myself like I'm not a loser. And it actually helps out a lot with the laws of attraction and the power of positivity and the manifestations and things like that. That's my story. I mean, I'm trying to keep it short so you don't have to.
No, it's all good, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. I could identify with a lot of things you said. What's up, Sue? Sorry. And it's funny, bro. Like it never fails. Every Saturday when I do this at 12 and I do this at 3, and somebody's on the other end of this telling the story, I can relate and identify with almost literally everything they say, even though they're from here, I'm from there, I'm white, they're, this, that, you know what I mean? All the differences that might be between me and that other person. But the emotions, the feelings, all very similar. Like maybe we made I never went to prison. I've been to jail, never went to prison. You know what I mean? But I learned that early on in recovery, and I'm so grateful. Because like you said, perspective, bro, perspective.
Perspective.
It's huge, man. It's huge. You said you talked a lot about how this disease is it's about me, I it's not about me. It's not about me. I spent my first year in a sober living, and while I was there, I read this book called The Purpose Driven Life. I don't know if you ever heard of that book before.
I think I have.
I'm not kidding, bro. The first words in the first chapter, it literally, I have it over here on my bookshelf. It says, "It's not about you." That's literally the first words in that first chapter of that book. And it's it was kind of like a rude awakening. Like I knew that, in my mind, that it wasn't about me.
It's not about us.
I have this disease that just will override everything.
Mm-hmm.
All of my emotions, all of my beliefs, everything I've been taught. It's like, when I was in school to become a counselor, I can't explain it as well as this guy has, the instructor did. But our minds, it gets so it's like a river, like a big stream. It just keeps flowing, and then it just creates this little river. And like our thinking, okay, we're gonna make a decision to go get high, or you can get loaded, get drunk, we're gonna party, do whatever, and we gotta go court the next morning, or we gotta go work. Something important is happening the next day, and we know if we pick up today, we ain't making it tomorrow.
You ain't making it tomorrow.
But it's scientifically proven that because of the way our brain is and the damage we do to it with the drugs and alcohol, all of that stuff that we know will happen, it's literally invisible to us.
We don't care.
It's literally invisible. We literally can't see it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's, you know, I mean, that's not like giving ourselves an out or anything like that, but
No,
that's part of proving that addiction is a disease.
it
It
is a
is an
disease,
illness.
100%.
You know, it's amazing, bro. If anybody ever heard of, or if you heard of, or look this guy up, Dr. Kevin McCauley, he is a drug addict. His was pills, and he's a doctor. This guy is ultimate weapon, man, against this fight in
I
addiction.
love it.
You know, he got his own experience, and he's literally a doctor. Amazing, man, this guy. But anyways, um, you said something, man. The light bulb went on bright in my mind when you said it, right here toward the end. You talked about how you know the dark into the light, the dark into the light. Oh man, I
Yeah,
love that. You know, because me, I kept my drug use a secret from my immediate
yeah,
family for 20 years. You know, see, naturally, I'm introverted. So for me to be kind of quiet, you know, I can't really talk when I was high on cocaine. I couldn't. And, you know, I'm very, you know, so that helped cover all of that when, you know what I mean? And things like that. So it
hmm,
wasn't really like when I was out of, you know, if I was smoking meth, okay, that'd be different. I can't stop moving.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That would have been different, you know, but the cocaine, being an introvert, it kind of helped keep my lie alive. You know what I mean?
hmm,
Oh, bro, you talked about lying too. Psh, I mean, I was a big time liar, bro. Like I protected my lies at all costs, bro. At
oh
all
yeah.
costs. Even if
I'll
I
burn
get
every
caught
friendship.
lying, yeah, even if I got caught red-handed, I will deny it and deny. I never would admit to it, never. And
Hmm.
that rarely happened because you know I really got good at lying. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But if somebody try to back me into a corner, like oh, then I just get mad. I just poof, furious now.
You're wrong. I'm
You
out of
know?
here.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, it's either typically human beings will get mad, or we just get quiet and we don't say nothing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
but man, amazing story, bro. And then you know the car accident reminded me. I got into an accident too, similar. Like we wasn't going that fast though. And there was me, my friend's girlfriend, and I mean there was my friend driving, his girlfriend, and me on the passenger side. And it was back home in Hawaii. It was this place called where were we? I think it was at Makalavena. It's called Makalavena. It was at night. It was on party down at the beach at night. Like we had they had generators, they had bands playing, all kind of stuff. So it
Hmm.
wasn't far drive. Like you can walk down there, but it take you like 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
somebody was up at the top. So my friend was like, "Oh, let's go pick up so and so." So okay, you know, well, I'm toast already at this point. It was
Yeah.
like maybe 10 o'clock. I was blackout drunk already. You know, I never found any cocaine yet.
Yeah.
And I was young, bro. I probably was like maybe 20, 21 or something. So we jump in the car, um, and you know, he's drunk, she's drunk, I'm drunk, and we're going up this crazy four-wheel drive road. But in the beginning, it's long gravel. And so, you know, he's blasting it up there. I don't know, maybe like 50, 60. And then whoa, whoa, he started losing control of the car. We hit one bang, boom, and the truck flips over, boom, 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 boom. And then it ends up like landing on my side. So I didn't know. I was drunk. I didn't feel anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I kind of crawl out of the car, and my whole face is bleeding because my head hit the ground. It was all rocks. But you know, I can't feel nothing. I felt everything the
Yeah.
next day. My head is all bleeding, and then I was like, "Are you guys okay? You guys okay? Yeah, yeah. Okay." Boom! I sprinted back down to the party. Kept drinking, kept drinking, kept drinking, looking for drugs. You know,
That's it.
like you know, I was insane. Um, but in closing, bro, you know, thank you again, man. I just wanted to kind of wrap up with some questions. You know, you really have a powerful story to tell, bro. At like 200, what, 36 days?
30, 38.
38,
Yeah.
238? Man, you know, like, hey, my hat is off to you, bro. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, bro.
Keep
Keep
doing it.
doing it
Yeah.
because it's very inspiring. Even though I got, you know, more time than you,
Yeah. Yeah.
hearing your story, it inspired me. It kind of encouraged me to come on, keep going, keep going,
I gotta
keep
keep
going,
going in the
keep
book.
doing it. Keep
Yeah.
doing the deal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because us, people like us, everybody in recovery, every person in recovery, whether we like it or not, we are all examples for somebody else.
Hmm.
Everybody, I mean, not everybody, but people, they're looking at us. You know, and that's why
Like,
a
how
lot
you
of
doing it?
people, huh?
They're like, how you doing it, man? You know, they're
Yeah, no,
watching.
they're looking at us and they're looking like the reason why I believe, I mean, this is my opinion, you know, I'm not saying this is a fact and it's a truth, it's written somewhere, but I believe that the reason why there's a stigma attached around addiction is because of us. And also it's a lack of education. It's pure ignorance. The reason
Hmm.
why I say it's us because people who are addicts, alcoholics, with no program, no help, no nothing, they're just running, you know, riot, self-will, run riot kind of thing. People on the outside looking at that, man, and then they start judging. Man, look at that. He's such a derelict. He's stealing. He's going to
Yeah. A
prison.
loser. Yeah.
Cheat on his wife. Blah, blah, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then boom, stigma starts attaching. See, but for people like us who are in recovery, we are the examples for these people to help change their minds about it. Not every single addict does that. Maybe every single addict with no program probably does that. I don't know. I don't want to speak for anybody. But you know what I'm saying? Like for us people who have a program to work, we have a moral compass. We have a code. We have a set of principles that we live by. We don't veer outside of them, kind of thing.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like we got a program. We got a life to live. We got a life worth living today because of what for me, my program, my relationship with God, and knowing that okay, I got these boundaries, like a lake and a swamp. I mean, it has to do with water, but the lake has boundaries. The swamp does not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, thank you again, bro. But we'll get into these questions now. Oh, sorry. I remember something else you said before we get into the questions.
Yeah.
You know that you did that one the gram or whatever. You sniffed the meth. Cause I've done meth, bro. I've snorted meth, and it cut my nose all up. It hurt, but it kept me up for like 2 days. And for you to experience that moment of clarity, that kind of like that peace, if you so to speak, and that feeling like you're sober, even though you just blasted up gram of, you know what I mean? Like, having that like God shot. There's many different terms and things like that, but that moment where it's almost like God revealed himself to you because you've been asking him about it, and stuff like that. And he showed up for you, and like that's just.
It gives me goosebumps. Like I got goosebumps right now. Like
no, literally, bro. Me too. Look at that. Well, you can't really see it, but
I can't tell
literally,
you.
I have goosebumps, bro. You know what I mean? Like having that spiritual experience, that spiritual awakening. And from that day forward, you stayed sober, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Bro,
relapses, nothing. It's a trip, man. In that first, I was trying to get clean before that, like little by little. Like I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but I had CPS involved. I had some things happen to me, and I didn't get into all that, but it had me trying to get sober. But nothing's gonna make you get sober. Here's something for everybody here. I don't care if your wife, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your priest, your anybody, they're trying to tell you to get sober, you will not get sober. You have to want to get sober, because no matter the prison sentence, the jail, anything that anybody's trying to put on you is going to either push you really more deeper or more secret, right? Because the addiction's telling you that you want to do drugs all the time, every day. Your mind, literally, you have to sit down one day, look in the mirror, and look at yourself and say, I'm sick of you. I'm tired of you. Man, what are we doing? And this is to yourself you have to talk to. Because at the end of the day, you're going to bed with you. You're dying alone, and that's it. You need to understand that your disease is telling you that you're okay to keep doing it, but it's going to inevitably end in death, institutions, or anything like that, right? So what I'm trying to get at is, one day do this. This is what helped me real quickly. So for me, what helped me out was I finally, after that sobering moment, I sat in the mirror and I looked at myself. I said, I hate you, man. I hate the things that you're doing. I hate that person. I hate that person. I know you're not that person. You're not that guy. You just have so many bad things piled up on you that you have now become a version of that guy, but you're not that guy, because deep down you know who you really are. You know who you really are. When you look in the mirror, you're like, man, I'm a good soul. I care about people. I do this and that, but I've made a lot of mistakes. But with that hole that you've dug, every good deed that you do, maybe two, will give you a little bit more dirt back in the hole, and slowly you'll creep out of this hole, and you'll be standing on top one day, and you're going to love yourself again. But it all starts with you looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of going to the hospital. I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of chasing dope all the time. I'm sick of always doing these things. I need to do better. And that's when you will do better. And I promise you, you write out all your nasty things, and you read them aloud, and you burn the paper after you're done if you have to. But just get those darknesses to light, like we were just saying. Bring that darkness to light. Bring that darkness to light. There's a lot of people going through the same thing, and recover loud, baby. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's good, bro. Like I agree with you on that one, man. And it's to piggyback kind of what you were just saying. Like I'm in total agreement with that. Because, and this is, well, I'll speak for me. I don't like start speaking for everybody.
Yeah.
For me, nobody made me. do drugs and drink alcohol.
Mm-mm.
I didn't. I have never accidentally did drugs or drank alcohol either. So on the other hand, getting into recovery, getting sober, growing along spiritual lines and other areas of my life after that, nobody made me do that either. I was willing to do both of them, But the thing is, I agree with you. It's just, you know, you cannot argue somebody into recovery. You cannot argue
No.
somebody into getting sober. You cannot. You literally. I mean, I believe you can pray for people, and for us that are sober, us that are clean, us that are in recovery, us that have a program we're working. Again, it goes back to, hey, we're the examples for these people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I do my best since I've been sober to live my life like a newcomer, somebody brand new that's trying to get sober is watching me, even when I'm alone. Even when I'm alone right now here in my house,
Integrity.
even how I
Integrity.
conduct myself behind closed doors with my
Mm-hmm.
wife, when I'm all alone, when I'm in public. Today I'm the same outside the door and inside the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that'll happen through the process of recovery for me. But I love it, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, getting back to this last day, we're talking about of you
Yeah. Yeah.
um, using. Now, the question is I know you kind of, I'm going to ask you, the question is, what happened to you on your last day of using? You kind of,
I
talked
kind of
about it
touched on it.
a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, you
It's
touched
it was.
on,
I really at that last day. I had hit my rock bottom.
Mhm.
Like my rock bottom was I want to die. You know what I mean? That was my rock bottom. Which I don't know how many people's rock bottoms or how they work, but for me personally, that day I wanted to die. I personally thought this is it. I can't do this anymore. I can't sit in my room all night staring at the wall, looking out my window every 5 seconds. I can't be. I'm living at my mom's. My kids are ashamed of me. I'm thinking all these negative thoughts, right? So that last day made me just say, you know what? I'm done. It's another selfish move, right? So I'm making another selfish move because addiction is selfish, and this was also selfish because now I'm leaving my kids behind without a dad. I'm doing all this. I'm making another selfish move, which is just absurd to think of now.
Mhm.
And for me to go drop him off at my brother-in-law's house that day, I was that dead set because I trust this man more than anything. So when I dropped him off, that's when I knew. And then, so for me, that last day really solidified the fact that I can't go back to it. If that makes sense. Like if I go back, I will be dead. So that last day makes me know it's over for me. One day at a time, I have to keep working this progress because October 30th, I physically went to that limit. And I thought that I was done.
Mhm.
So I never want to go back to that feeling again because I know the next time it's over. It's game over. There's only one game, and the game will be over if I do that again. So, anyways, that's what happened. Yeah.
Okay, right on, bro. So here, the next question is, so what sent you from, functional addict to all the way, off the deep end kind of thing?
Okay. So I was holding it together. I was the boss of a job. I thought I had everything. I was the coach of the little league teams. I was eating 10 Norcos all the time. We had championship runs with the team. I'm like, I'm killing it, bro. I'm literally the production manager of 120 guys. Come on, I'm the guy. Right? But my habit got so deep that I was stealing from people at work. I was giving people promotions to get more high. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? So I started slipping. I started fucking up, right? I started stealing from my family members more, which I was already doing, but it just got worse and worse and worse. And so the functioning part was over once my wife divorced me because she was my other half to keep me somewhat in check because I couldn't do it around her. You get what I mean? I
Yep.
was one of those guys that could go hang out at the trap house at 2 o'clock till 4, but then also go back and coach a little league game and hang out with my wife like nothing happened.
Huh.
So I thought I had it under control until I started asking for drugs from too many people, if that makes sense, and doing too many things. And next thing you know, my hole got deeper. I couldn't hang out with certain people. I had to have people lie for me all the time. And that's what made me fall into meth and just secluding myself.
Mhm.
So that's
Right.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I get that, bro. It's like that double life that we live. I totally can relate. I mean, and
Trying to
because
balance it.
that, like anxiety is built directly into that kind of lifestyle. Like me too, bro. At the trap house, and then okay, I gotta go home and act like everything's normal.
Shit, I gotta get my polo shirt on to go coach a baseball game. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on, dude. What the fuck? Like, what was I doing, dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, bro. The next one is So what's your outlet during a hard time in recovery? Like what outlet you use? I have an idea.
Yeah. So for me, it's working out a lot.
Yeah.
I, but for me, it's like this. I don't know if it's like this for anyone else that works out, but I like to go to the point where I can't go no more.
Uh-huh.
And when I get there, I want to go further because I want to feel that high
Uh-huh.
of breaking through that pain, if that makes sense. So now
Yeah.
I'm addicted to that feeling of
Mhm.
just pushing the limit, right? I also like to listen to music, but when I mean listen to music, I like to put 70s music on.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
have all the fucking answers, bro. I swear. They had all the answers back in the 70s, back when the addiction was really hitting back then. They had all these answers, John Denver and all the guys, you know? You got sitting there, all that music. I used to listen to the lyrics so high on meth that I would dissect each song. So
Uh-huh.
now when I hear those songs, I'm like, oh, I remember where I was at that one time, and now I know why I'm here today. So
Right.
music is like a journal for me, if that makes sense. But that's
Yeah.
my two things: music, and working out like a motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah. Like what you're talking about, like going to Canada and go somewhere and everything like that. I remember even to this day, my dad been telling me this like my whole life. He would tell me, like he was relating it to business, but life in general. Like the winners or the people who succeed, they do everything they're supposed to do and a little bit more.
A little
Everything
bit.
that differentiates like the good from the great kind of thing. Do
Hmm.
everything you got to do and a little bit more, a little bit
A
more,
little bit more.
and he said like because the little bit more is that the extra mile, and the good thing about the extra mile is that there's no traffic jam because nobody's ever on it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's true shit.
Yeah. All right, bro. So, okay, next one. What was the hardest realization in your recovery journey looking back?
Like looking back now is just realizing that my hardest realization was, man, if I was honest from the gate, if I would have came out to my parents like, why do I feel this way, or if I had that open contact to be able to talk to someone about not bottling your emotions and just realizing that the truth shall set you free, no matter how stupid the coin sounds.
Yep.
It's the truth shall set you free. So now when I look back, I'm like, damn, like all it took was me opening my mouth and saying, this is how I feel. This is
Yeah.
how I'm feeling. Here's my emotions. You don't have to rub dirt on it, boys. You don't have to rub dirt on it, boys. It's like
Uh-huh.
just talk it out. It's not the stereotype of it's like it's not it's a gay or it's not cool or it's not the cool thing, whatever everything people are thinking, right? Which who cares what people do at the end of the day? But be
Hmm.
honest, be a good human. And if you
Yeah.
that's what my realization was like, wow, if I were to just be like at 13, hey mom, I hate that I feel this way about my body, and why do I feel like this? And my mom had some sort of answer, or somebody, hey, Anthony, just let's. This is how you work out. This is how macros work. Let's get you into this. Let's get. You know what I mean? And then slowly your insecurities would die because you'd have an answer. And it's
Right.
just like this. We have to have the solution, which the solution is calling yourself out on the shit that you're doing and bringing it to light. So there's always a solution. Don't give up is what I'm trying to get at. Now my
Yeah.
realization was don't quit when it gets hard. Keep going because every time you break through that barrier, every single time you level up. So when something hard comes, my realization was stop, get high, Anthony. Don't take that emotion. Stop, get high, Anthony. So I dwarfed myself. But if every
Yeah.
time something got hard, I broke through that thing, I've noticed now I level up. So my hardest realization is truth. Just be
Yeah.
truthful.
I,
Yeah.
I agree with you again, bro. Once again on that one, like about, speaking it, talking to somebody, whether it's one person or a group of people you absolutely trust, for sure. That's key.
Yeah.
You got to trust these people.
Trust them.
Because I believe that our mouth is the valve to relieve the pressure from our hearts. My friend Jim, oh, Jim
Yeah.
Hernandez. Yeah, yeah. So like when he shares, he talks about how because he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been working out for years, and he talked about how when you speak about it, you kind of take the power out of it. It's like lifting weights. You tear your muscle, but it'll heal. It'll heal. When you keep talking, you'll keep healing. You'll keep healing,
Yeah.
healing, healing. There's a lot of healing involved in that, bro.
Exactly.
So awesome. So last question I got for you, bro. What would you say? I mean, you said a bunch of things about this particularly, but if you kind of could hone in on one thing that you could say to somebody right now that to encourage them, somebody that's still struggling out there right now, what would you say to encourage them?
You're not alone. Reach
Mm,
out when you're feeling low. Don't sit there and think that you're this horrible person. You've made bad choices. You're not a horrible person. Tomorrow could be a whole new day if you just start making the right choices and be truthful with yourself. And I'm telling you right now, 17 years I was hiding the secret, getting high as I could. And I'm telling you right now, the biggest thing I could tell you right now is I wanted to die, but it's not worth that. Your life is so precious. You're a beautiful person. You've made mistakes, but keep on pushing forward. And if you ever need help, reach out to any one of us and don't give up on yourself. You can do this. I know you can. I know it's hard. You can do this. And I promise you, the day that you do and months go by, you're going to look back and think, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? Because you were living in purgatory for so long. And I promise you, you could do this.
Absolutely. I'm in total agreement with that, man. If we can get sober, you can get sober. I've done some horrible things. I've lived as a horrible human being for 20 years. And I never, ever, 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 ever thought, even I had a relationship with God, active in my addiction. I never thought I would get sober. I never thought I would stop using drugs and stop drinking. Ever. Never thought that. You know, so like now that, you know, it's been 4 years already.
Congratulations.
I can get sober. Anybody on the planet can get sober.
Yeah.
Like, I am convinced about that, but you know, I'm not the one that needs the convincing. You know, it's just I'm the one that God gave me the assignment to carry this message to somebody else that's sick and suffering. You know, and like I have this format and I have other people come on like you, tell your story. You know, spread the message. Recover. I mean, hey, I hear people all the time talk about how the struggle is real. The struggle is real. I mean, that's the focus. Of course, the struggle is real, but so is the solution. The solution is very real. You know,
100%.
it takes effort on our part to go out and seek it. You know, it's not going to fall in our lap. You know, it's amazing how, you know, like living a terrible life, it takes like zero effort. You know, using drugs, lying, cheating, stealing, it's like zero effort. Like, but to stop those behaviors, those ways of thinking, put the pipe down. You know, pull down the rolled dollar bill, the glass of wine, whatever. That takes a lot of effort to do that. You know, because
anybody can get high.
Yeah, bro. It's a certain way of living that we're accustomed to, and all of a sudden, we got to go back this way. And I was like, what? Be honest. What is that? I don't know how to tell the truth. I literally had to learn how to tell the truth. I'm not kidding. Like, I literally had to learn how to tell the truth when I got sober.
I feel that.
Because I believe my own lies. Like, even to this day, some things I think back on, I don't even know if it was fancied or real, if I made it up or if it was true. Some certain things. Because I've told myself it over and over for so long. And you know how we play that movie in our mind of whatever it is?
Yeah.
That movie in my mind, in certain things that I think about, I'm like, I don't even know if it was true or not, you know?
Did that happen? Like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's right. That's right. We do recover. Bro, there's somebody over here I seen that said something about you. Who's that? Okay, Cali Girls 530. Anthony, your journey is so amazing. I never knew you were an addict. So proud of your progress. Bro, it's inspiring, man. It is inspiring, bro. Oh my gosh.
There we go.
I want to go to the gym after this now. I feel so pumped up. The gym.
Yeah, put it in right here. Come on.
There you go. The gym literally is out my door and down the hall. Like literally, I can get there in about 30 steps.
Oh, shit. But yeah.
Yeah, you
beautiful,
want to say
man.
anything else before we wrap up, bro?
Yeah, I want to actually say thank you to a couple people. My Matthew Ballard, back in I was 25 years old. I reached out to him because he fell off really hard, and he's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because he planted the seed 6-7 years ago. So he worked with me at the place I worked at. Long story short, I had reached out to him and said, hey, man, you were really bad, bro. Like, he was really bad. And then all of a sudden, he got a new job. He had a wife. He had a kid. He was living good. He's doing things. And I'm still over here fucking everything up, right? And I'm like, man, how'd you do it? He took me to my first meeting. I want to say thank you to him. And I want to say thank you to my little brother, too, for putting up with me and doing everything he did for me. He knows what he did. So that's my thing right there. And I want to say thank you to everybody that helped me out along my way that I'm not talking about right now, but you know who you are. Yeah. And I want to thank you, man, for putting me on here. It's just beautiful seeing everybody going through the same things, you know what I mean? And knowing that there is a way out, there is a solution, the solution.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, there you go. There's a solution, bro.
Get yourself in the plug, dude. Stay on the stair climber. you know?
Yeah. Oh, you just said something. You always say something that triggered me, and then this thing will go on and on and on and on and on. I forgot what it was. But anyways, I really want to thank you again, man, for being here, sharing your experience, strength, and hope. It helped me, bro. I do this, of course, to carry the message to other people, but in turn, it'll help me. It's a two-way thing. It's not like
Yeah,
I get energy from doing these things. I hear somebody's stories and like, wow, I never thought of that. Let me start implementing that in my life too now.
yeah,
And it's just so helpful, man, for me to be doing this. And I'm committed to doing these things. I don't know.
yeah.
I just feel, so compelled to do these things because, my life was spared. I got all my fingers and toes, amazing. The things I've done, the places I've been. And then,
Hmm.
I came out unscathed, bro. Like nothing, like amazing. I attribute all of that to God's grace, because man, I sure didn't, I do not deserve the life I have today. If everything was based on my behavior, oh, bro, I wouldn't
Hey,
be here right now.
hey, God knew what you were going to be doing, man. That's why
Yeah,
He put you out here like this, brother. You
yeah,
deserve it. You deserve it.
I understand that today, man. Like,
Trial and
you
tribulation.
get my heart beating for a reason, man. So purpose. This addiction gave me purpose, bro. And I'm on fire, bro. Got a high fervor, an intense passion for recovery, bro. So
Hmm.
again, bro, it's like the 10th time I've been saying we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, I
but
respect you, brother.
yeah, thank you so much, bro. We'll
Thank
keep in
you.
touch, okay?
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bro. Take care. Yeah, Haley, giving back was so freely given. Absolutely. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna go live again in 2 hours. It is about almost 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We're going live with my friend Rashad. He is from Connecticut. He's a recovery coach. He's alcohol free. Come check it out, guys. Come check out here how he did it. And thank you guys so much again for all the support, all the love. Haley, it's all good, girl. I see you jumped in there late. It's all good. I know you're one of the biggest supporters. So love you guys. Thank you so much. Take care.